Yeah. Hey, I'm on the hunt. I'm after you. It's taking you back to the 80s this week. It's D-Ron, Daniel Ehrenberg.
Yeah.
And fucking nailed that right there. And I'll tell you what. It's a bit of an audible this week we've called. We were supposed to do The Batman and Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. We were going to go see that in theaters. Then, in the Discord, a bolt from the blue, a genius from the rafters with a message from the gods. I don't know what I'm talking about. Mikey Graff, he comes in, he goes, "Hey, BT Dubs. Fantastic Beasts: Secrets of Dumbledore coming to HBO Max on May fucking 30th. All right. So I immediately respond, thanks for the info. Text Logan, did you see this info? Logan's like, got the info. You know what we got to do. And then we just were like, all right, fuck it. We're going to cover that shit, after the 30th. So next week. And then this week we'll just do something different. So from behind us, we had Mikey Graff, king of the world now our favorite listener, I would say. All right, I'm going to say number one this week anyway. Certainly top five collectively. The other four know who they are. And so he was in our fantasy football league. All right. And he won the fantasy football league. So he could choose anything he wanted. He had a pick locked and loaded. And it wasn't a fuck you to me, like so many of the other patrons love to do, because I think people listen to this show to hate me. And so he wanted us to cover Hot Tub Time Machine and Hot Tub Time Machine 2. So that's what we're doing this week. Now, I realized during that long monologue that I haven't brought in Logan yet. So let's do that. Hey, Logan.
Hey, everybody. We spent 20 minutes talking about nonsense, but we can afford it because this episode's going to be like 45 minutes long.
Why don't you not be a coward and tell them what we were actually talking about?
What were we talking about?
Male pornography stars.
Yeah, we were, because somebody died very tragically. It was very upsetting.
2 of them.
Well, one was like a year ago, but I discovered it recently. So we were. Yes.
What was the name of the long one?
His name was Logan Long.
Logan Long. Yeah.
And Jake Adams, for you guys wondering.
That's funny. Luke Longley, remember from the Chicago Bulls? He would have been a good porn star.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right. So, hey, Hot Tub Time Machine. Let's talk about it. It came out in 2010. Logan was like maybe 12.
Yep.
Is that right?
11. I hadn't turned 12 yet.
All right. So he couldn't see it in theaters without parental guidance. Did you end up seeing it somehow?
I saw the first one, not in theaters, but I saw it on DVD. Maybe like might have been like a Redbox situation. You know what that is? That might have been a thing at the time.
Yeah, I know what that is. That's still a thing, bro. Redbox has a little tile on my Roku.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that was just like a place you visit.
No, I think now
it was a physical box.
It is. I think it still is in front of some grocery stores and supermarkets, but you can also stream on their application.
Yeah, it might have been a Redbox thing.
I can't imagine there's many good movies streaming on the Redbox application. But
what do you mean? I think they get like all the new shit, right? You just have to rent it.
Well, yeah, you have to rent it, I suppose. Yeah, that's true. I was thinking maybe they have some stuff for free over there.
But always, if you ever see one, there's always like 6 Bruce Willis things playing.
Well, he's always got a lot out. I mean, he won't soon because he's in the midst of retirement.
Yeah, you're right.
How do you feel about that?
Well, that's upsetting, right?
It's like a new era, a post-Bruce world.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's PBW.
Yeah, it sucks out here.
Post-Bruce world, post-Bruce Willis. Works both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hey. Shut the fuck up. All right. So Hot Tub Time Machine takes me back to another time in my life. It's funny because this film is so much about being wistful for a time when you had the world by the balls and anything could happen.
Was this peak
Before,
Daniel 2010?
Um, yeah. it
Wow.
was. Yeah.
Who knew?
So like it was like before my alcoholism had reached its low, and so I was still handling my liquor, you know?
Yeah.
I was still fun alcoholic, Daniel,
Yeah.
you know, having a real nice time. And I remember
Are
that
you living with Henry?
I think I was living with Henry.
Wow. So all right. So interesting. Your peak was living with Henry. I'm sure he'd be happy to know that, right?
He probably would, yeah. It certainly wasn't his peak. He was having a hard time.
Oh, is he going to hear this, or are you going to have to tell him that?
He won't hear this, but he wouldn't mind me saying that. I think that's like common knowledge in our circles.
All right. That's very sweet.
But yeah. But where was I? Oh, so anyway, I remember I went to go see this movie. I was simping hard for this girl I met in college named Danielle Berg. All right. And
It's a little close to your name, right? I feel like you made that up.
No. That's what I'm saying.
like this
When
is a
I
lie.
met her, no, I'm telling you, this
I
is
don't
what
know about
happened.
this.
When I met Danielle Berg in college.
Danielle
I
Berg.
was like, what is going on here? This is a hot girl with like basically my exact name. We're obviously soulmates, right?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be together. And so at the time she had this boyfriend who was this like 120-pound beanpole. I'm telling you, this fucking guy, he was vegan and he like was really into early Incubus when they were still experimenting with time signatures before they went pop. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Nor should you. And so anyway, I had to deal with that. So I just became friends with her for a while. And so that was this period. So I was like out doing like errands with her.
But with your sights set on becoming an item.
Exactly. Yeah. And frankly, it never really happened.
Oh,
I never got further than a makeout sesh.
that's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was satisfying at the time.
When was it like a New Year's thing? When was this?
No, it was weird. We were like, one night we were like hanging out watching TV, just like the two of us, like as friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then like she left and she texted me like an hour later, like, I felt something while we were hanging out tonight. You know, something I'd never felt before around you.
Wow.
Yeah. And so then like we like went out to like try it out, and she was like, I don't feel it anymore.
Oh my gosh. What'd you do
Yeah, it was
wrong?
brutal. Whatever I've done wrong on every other day in my
Daniel.
entire fucking life. It's all right.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's quite okay. So I don't know what she's up to these days. I don't even know if she's living in America. But
Well, I think she's fake. I don't think any of this happened. I think that's a fake
No,
person,
this
Danielle
all fucking-
Berg. No way.
I shouldn't be saying her actual name, and you shouldn't be challenging me because it's going to inspire people to like go googling her and shit.
I just think it's a funny
So-
bit if you made up a person, Danielle Berg.
No, I didn't. And so then I remember we went to the theater and it was sort of just, let's go see a movie. There was no movie in mind. And we ended up at the theater, and the only thing that was like starting at the right time was Hot Tub Time Machine. And she was sort of like resigned, like, oh, fuck, I guess we'll see that. And so I had to pretend to be that way too, but in secret, I was really excited to see it.
Oh, you had seen the trailer? You were amped for this?
Yeah, I wanted to see it anyway.
Why? What was so? I think the best thing about this movie is the title, right?
Yeah, the title's hooky. It was like Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah,
at the
that's
time.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was a big John Cusack guy.
Yeah, you are.
I saw every John Cusack movie in theaters around this time, like even shit like Martian Child. That was, and Grace is Gone. Have you ever even heard of those movies?
No. No, I have not.
Yeah.
I did something though, because he says no to the second movie.
I don't. Well, there's a story behind it.
Okay,
But
because I wrote down some of his things between like 2010 and 20 whenever the second one comes out, 2015, right? And I'm gonna name 10 movies for you. Okay, stop me when you've seen one of these. All right.
all right, I will. I probably have seen some.
All right. The Factory, The Frozen Ground with Nicolas Cage and Vanessa Hudgens, The Numbers
Yeah.
Station, Grand Piano, Adult World, The Bagman,
Whoa.
Drive Hard with Thomas Jane, The Prince with Bruce Willis and Jason Patrick, Reclaim, Dragon Blade with Jackie Chan. Have you seen any of those movies?
No, I haven't.
Whoa, that's crazy. That's what he was doing between 2010 and 2015, and he said no to the second movie. That's nuts.
Well, it was a studio movie, so he asked for the same amount of money as the first one, and they weren't willing to do it because the first one wasn't like an out of the box hit. I read that they didn't even really offer Cusack the second one. It was like a
Oh.
token. Yeah, like they were like they knew they needed to make it for much cheaper, and the only way to do that was without him.
All right.
All right,
can't argue
should we
with
get
it.
in? All right, yeah. Should we get into the first one, or do you want me to talk to you about the Thai food that I had after the movie with Daniel Berg?
No, let's get into the movie. Unless
Okay,
it was like
great.
really notable.
It wasn't.
Okay.
It was pretty good though. Anyway, fucking this movie, Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yep.
It had a curious process to the screen. It was written by a fella by the name of Josh Heald. Do you know this guy?
Nope.
All right. Well, I mean, this was his first big thing. He wrote it on spec. He was a producer as well, but like, you know, fledgling. He hadn't ever gotten anything made. He this was his breakthrough, and he got it made basically on the strength of the title. Like, I don't even think anybody really loved the script all that much. It was just the title was so hooky. And so the studio bought the script from Josh Heald. Heald, by the way, has gone on to do shit. He co-created that Cobra Kai show.
Okay.
Yeah. But the studio immediately like says like thanks for the title basically, and they hire these dudes Sean Anders and John Morris with the intent that they're going to direct it as well. They were coming off of writing and directing the Sex Drive. All right? That's where some boys drive to get some sex.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I watched it for the first time pretty recently.
Me too. I put it on like one night on like it was on like HBO Max or something. I just like put it on while I was
Yeah.
doing something else.
You know, some of the people from that movie are in this movie, so I wonder if those fellows had any casting say.
Interesting.
All right.
Oh, I
So-
saw a guy from Cobra Kai was in this movie. Wonder if that like anything.
Yeah, interesting.
Mhm.
All right, so those dudes like went on to a ton of shit. Basically, they did We're the Millers and Horrible Bosses 2, and both Daddy's Home movies. All right.
Wow.
So don't worry about them. But anyway, they were supposed to direct the fucking thing until they got John Cusack on board. They weren't expecting to get a star of the caliber of John Cusack to be in the movie, but Cusack apparently saw the title Hot Tub Time Machine and was like, love the title. I want to be in the movie. And
So he brought his friend over, right?
so he had those two guys shit canned.
Whoa.
Shit canned. He had them fired from the movie. All right.
They still wrote it.
And yeah, well, but they were supposed to write and direct it. But after they wrote the script that got John Cusack on board the movie,
Did they
he
direct We're the Millers, or they just wrote that too?
they just wrote that. But they directed the Daddy's Home and Instant Family with Mark Wahlberg. That one too.
Okay, so they only work with Mark Wahlberg.
Well, these days, I guess, yeah. Well, Mark Wahlberg's loyal. He loves working with the same motherfuckers over and over. Peter Berg. He's obsessed with that
Yeah,
guy.
you're right.
Yeah. Anyway, where was I? Oh, so Cusack is an asshole and gets everybody fired. All right. And he brings in his pal, Steve Pink, whose previous credits are being pal of Cusack. But of course, that's not true. He actually previously co-wrote with Cusack Gross Point Blank and High Fidelity. So they're great collaborators. Probably Cusack's two best movies ever.
Identity. You never see that one?
I love that movie.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
I know.
He was every single one of those guys.
Well, he wasn't.
Well, the one guy was.
The one guy was him along with everybody else.
Yeah, that's what I mean. All right. So so anyway, Steve Pink comes on board to make Cusack feel comfortable and shit. He's gone on. He had only directed one movie previously. That movie, Accepted. You ever see that?
Yes, kind of.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But
There's a paintball scene I used to like, right?
that was popular at the time. Paintball scenes.
Yeah.
I can
10
think
Things I
of
Hate
a-
About You.
Oh
That made him
yeah,
famous.
that's a classic. Wow.
Well, that's the best one.
It's got to be, right? That's like the ideal.
Yeah, they kiss. Show me
paintball.
another one where people kiss during a paintball scene.
It must happen, right? I feel like they played paintball a lot on The Big Bang Theory in the early days.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's great community paintball episodes.
Oh well, yeah. Of course, those are actually the best ever. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
Modern Warfare.
Mhm.
So anyway, the movie finally comes out March 26th, 2010 on a budget of $36 million. And frankly, the lion's share of that went to John Cusack.
Wow.
And it made 64.6 million at the box office, which would have been a nice little mid-sized hit, but the budget was too high.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it ended up coming in at number 67 at the American box office between two other franchise films, Predators and Kick-Ass.
Who's in that one? Who's in that Predators?
That's the one with...
Is that Adrian Brody?
Yeah, it's me, Adrian Brody, a.k.a. Pat Riley.
Okay. Pat Riley.
He plays Pat Riley on the Lakers show.
Yeah, you're right.
He's
And then
great.
what was the other movie?
Kick-Ass, the first Kick-Ass. I
Oh,
kind of thought that was...
Kick-Ass.
Yeah, I thought that was a bigger deal.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like people were obsessed with that movie, right?
That's a great
Hit
movie.
Girl
We
merchandise.
gotta do that one day. That'll be fun.
That's a great.
Well, the second
movie.
one sucks. Yeah, first Kick-Ass is really fun.
It's good, yeah.
The second one is one of the worst movies I've seen, I think.
it's very
really
bad.
stupid.
Yeah, it's very bad.
Yeah.
Awful Jim Carrey shit.
Awful everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that was good is just bad now.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. All right, so not many awards for Hot Tub Time Machine. Not as many as Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's too bad.
All right, but it does have won the Teen Choice Awards.
It's the teen choice.
Award. All right, so that's Lizzie Kaplan.
What?
She was Lizzie Kaplan was singled out for the favorite comedy actress category. All right.
Okay.
And she lost to Tina Fey for Date Night.
Why? Was she like a huge deal?
Who? Which one? Lizzie Kaplan?
Lizzie Kaplan, yeah.
She was starting to be. Right? She was on the cusp at this point.
But if she's not a huge deal and she doesn't have a huge role in this movie, that's weird that she's the person that they choose.
You know what? She had recently been on True Blood. I wonder if True Blood was just so huge at this
With
point.
the teens? Come on.
The teens love True Blood. Are you crazy?
Really?
Yes. That was a teen show, basically. I know it had boobs.
My
and
parents
stuff.
watched True Blood.
Everyone watched. Like your parents, they have the mentality of fucking fourth graders.
Okay. Right.
All right, best comedy movie. It was also nominated there at the Teen Choice Awards, and it lost again to Date Night. Boy, we must have been in a dire place in terms of teen comedy because Date Night is a very boring movie. Frankly, the only thing I remember about that movie liking was Mark Wahlberg. And when the only thing I can remember liking about your movie is Mark Wahlberg.
Was he shirtless in that, right?
He was, yeah, he was. He was doing that where it's like Tina
He's like a
Fey's,
drug dealer, right?
horny for him.
Yeah, he's a pretty good. Yeah,
I
he's
don't know.
okay.
They keep having to go to his apartment.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that movie sucks. Every Tina Fey movie sucks. Admission sucks.
Mean Girls?
Yeah, it kind of sucks too.
No, what are you talking about? We'll do that one
okay.
day, right? That has sequels.
It has at least the one. Yeah.
Yeah, at least one.
Mean Girls. I've only seen that movie once.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, it's good.
It's okay.
All right, whatever. We'll get there
all
one day.
right. Anyway, let's get into the hot tub time machine. How about that?
Yeah, let's
So-
do it.
We catch up with our characters in the present day in 2010. It's classic, sex comedy tone. It's very bro-y. Basically no women in this entire movie like that have any agency whatsoever. It's just following these 4 arrestedly developed men. That's not how you say that. And so who do we got? It's John Cusack plays John Cusack, the classic John Cusack role.
Yeah.
He's recently been broken up with, which is right in the John Cusack wheelhouse. I'm gonna even say that probably wasn't in the fucking script, and Steve Pink and John Cusack were like, "Let's just have me going through a breakup, bro."
Is he married in real life, Cusack?
I feel like he just breaks up constantly.
That's upsetting.
Yeah.
Even today, has he ever been married?
I have no fucking idea, dude. I don't know about John Cusack's personal life. Do your own research.
Oh, well, I feel like you know when.
I know. I'm actually. I think the only reason I'm reacting poorly is that I should know that.
Well, maybe there's a reason you don't. Maybe he's never been married.
Maybe. Let's look at his Wikipedia page, shall we? He has never been married. That's
Okay.
confirmed.
Who are some of his big relationships? Does it say that?
Boy, he
was a big deal for a while.
All it says is he has never been married nor had children. When asked in a 2009 interview why this was the case, he answered, "Society doesn't tell me what to do."
He's like Kevin Durant.
Is that what Kevin Durant does?
Yeah, Kevin Durant doesn't have any kids either. He just loves basketball
and weed.
Yeah, I love Kevin Durant.
No, me too. He's cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Cusack's going through it's not a divorce, right? It's just a breakup.
No, it's just a breakup. But she moved out, right? She's taking shit out of his apartment.
Right. Yeah, correct. Do we ever meet that woman? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Okay. So that's one guy. He's melancholy. Then we also have Rob Corddry as Lou. He's a bald fella. Is he married?
No, they say he's divorced.
Yeah. He's sort of right. He's like a real sad guy. He's on the brink of committing suicide when we meet him.
Yeah, but we don't know that until
Which
the
is
end.
very dark. It's fucking insane that the inciting incident of Hot Tub Time Machine is one of the dudes committing suicide.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of that movie Tag. You ever see that movie?
Yeah, I have seen that movie.
How that movie, spoiler alert for Tag, but they come together because one of them is dying, so they want to do one last hurrah. But this one is he wants to kill himself. It's like the opposite of that. He's wanting to kill himself, so they do one last thing.
Yeah, that movie Tag sucks.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
No, that movie is shot well. There's funny stuff in that movie. Everyone in that movie is really good. There's great action. Come on.
Great action?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are we talking about?
No, there is. There's great action in that movie, and everyone's good. That's a good movie. 2 stars.
All right, and then you got Craig Robinson. He's got my least favorite arc in the film. He's one of the funniest guys in the film, but he's got my least favorite arc. He's married, but it's sort of in an emasculated way. He took his wife's last name.
That was funny to me, I thought.
Yeah, because that's
the reveal
gay.
of that.
It's so
no, but
gay.
the reveal of that I thought was funny.
Yeah, I like that his last name's Agnew. That's funny and weird.
Okay.
Do you know why?
No.
Because that was the name of Richard Nixon's vice president.
Okay.
I just like to teach you things, Logan.
Was that at this time? When was that?
Richard Nixon?
Was that a shout out to 1986?
No.
Okay.
All right. So Clark Duke, He's the other one. He's John Cusack's nephew. He lives in the basement. Oh, that's right. We never meet the woman. He mentions that he hears someone shuffling around upstairs. That was what the breakup was.
Oh, right.
And he's a real nerd. He's like a millennial nerd. Back when we were ripping on millennials a lot. And
We don't do that anymore.
no, I feel like now we rip on Gen Z.
Oh, I'm Gen Z.
Yeah, you're taking the brunt of it these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Don't feel bad. Your generation's way better.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, and he's into Second Life, which is very 2010.
Was that a video game?
Yeah, you remember Second Life?
No, was that the name of a video game?
Yeah, that was gonna be a new thing. Like people were talking about it like it was gonna be like the hot new phenomenon.
Was that like Ready Player One?
Yeah, sort of like Oculus Rift or something like that, where like it's basically The Sims, but like more realistic, I guess. And people were doing it for a minute, and there were a lot of news stories where like old people were like scoffing at it, like when they were talking about Tide Pods a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So starting at the beginning, you want to help me out here?
Yeah, I mean, Lou tries to kill himself, so then they go back, they go to the resort, and they get in the hot tub, and then they go back in time, right? That's what
Yeah, I
happens.
mean that's the plot of the movie, but I wanted to like get into some specifics.
I mean, that's like the lead up. Is there anything from like the first 10 minutes or whatever?
There was a Thomas Lennon cameo.
Okay.
I enjoyed him showing up uncredited with
know
a
what I don't
dog
like?
named Bono.
I don't like when in any movie, or I don't like anything with catheters.
Oh
Stop
yeah,
putting catheter stuff in your
why
movie.
does that bother you?
It's just stupid. It's not funny. It's just painful.
I thought it was funny.
No. Come on, Daniel.
He pulls a cath. He wants to get on the road fast. So he pulls the catheter out of his dick.
I hate that. Come on.
It's funny. And then he's like, "Oh, did I get that on you?" Hey, listen, this is a stupid movie, and I feel like it's gotten a bad rap in the years since. You know, it's because now it's like on cable all the time, and younger
I feel like people just don't talk about this.
I don't
I
know.
feel like it's like Horrible Bosses or something like that.
But I was looking at Letterboxd at like the contemporary reviews, and there are people watching it, like young people around your age, and they're basically talking about it like it's this dumb shit movie for fucking dumb misogynistic assholes or something. And it, you know, at the time, it was just this little silly thing. Like it was taking the piss out of the title. Like we all knew it was stupid, and the movie knew it was stupid.
Another one is like The Purge. Like you think that's gonna be great, and that's not so great.
Yeah, well, that's got such a good premise, and they
Yeah.
just still haven't nailed it after all these years.
Yeah. Yeah. They leaned into horror. Why they shouldn't have leaned into horror. They should have leaned into the Purge aspect.
I completely agree. Yeah, the problem with The Purge is that they're produced by Blumhouse.
Yeah, then they did the scary masks, right? They all just it's all about the scary
I
masks.
hate those fucking scary masks.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, yeah, they go to the lodge at the Kodiak Valley, and it's one of those things like you can never go back. You know, the town is like barred up. It looks disgusting. It's not what they remembered.
It's like a Stephen King town.
It really is. Yeah. And they lean into that with the casting of Crispin Glover as the one-armed bellman.
Yeah.
And that's a brilliant bit.
Can I tell you, by the way, if you had asked me who plays the one-armed bellhop guy, I would have said it was Steve Zahn. I didn't know that this was Crispin Glover until I found out like last week.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I just thought my whole life that this was Steve Zahn. I don't know.
Well, no, but the movie casts a lot of like big 80s actors in small roles. So Steve Zahn
Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase is another one, and who plays the front desk person?
The front desk person.
Oh no, that's not who I'm thinking of. William Zabka shows up. Remember, like betting in that bar?
Yeah, he's the guy from Cobra Kai, right?
Yeah, he's the fella from Cobra Kai.
Right.
Oh yeah, Yeah, I guess I did think about that. I wonder if like Josh Heald was connected to that dude.
Yeah, that's what made me think about it.
I wonder who reached out to whom first. That'd be interesting to know.
Maybe just
I'm-
auditioned. He's great, by the way, I think.
You think William Zabka auditioned for Cobra Kai?
No, for this.
Oh no, I don't think so. Actually, I think he actually that scene was a pickup. I read where like they just needed like one more cameo from like an '80s person.
Yeah, he's funny, I think. I think
He's
that
always-
scene's pretty funny.
He always acquits
Aside
himself
from like the gay
well.
panic stuff.
There's so much gay.
It's even
panic.
worse in the second movie though.
It's way worse in the second.
Yeah, the second movie's
I
like all
think.
gay panic.
Yeah, I mean the first movie basically the biggest thing is the thing in the bathroom where he's gonna suck his dick.
Yeah. But the second movie, they have sex VR, and there's like that's like the whole thing.
Yeah, and they keep bringing it up like 1,000. He started taunting him about it. It's gross.
He says like later, like I ejaculated inside of you.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
I did like the line in the blowjob scene, like, he's talking about like how impossibly black it is.
Yeah. Oh, I think Rob Corddry has a great line during that when he's talking because the bet is like if he wins the bet, then Zabka's wife has to give him a blowjob or something, and he's like he's sitting there, Corddry, and he tells the wife, he's like, I'm so great at getting blowjobs. You'll see.
I'm really good at getting head. You'll see.
Corddry's really funny in this
Yeah, he
movie. They're clearly thinking of him as like the breakout in the way that like Zach Galifianakis was in the
The
I don't know
Hangover.
why I pronounced it that way. Zach Galifianakis was in The Hangover. Yeah. I don't know. This was during a weird time in comedy history where Hollywood thought that The Daily Show was going to be this huge breeding ground for new talent in the way that like Saturday Night Live has always been. Because Steve Carell came out in the 40-Year-Old Virgin, and then fucking the Colbert Report ratings were starting to like be even bigger than the Daily Show, and so they were like plucking people from that, and so Rob Corddry got a huge boost to his career from like those guys' success.
What else has he done besides these? This is what I know him from.
I mean, like, since this, he's sort of become an anonymous sitcom actor. I watched him on the show The Unicorn with Walton Goggins. But, I mean, his big thing was Children's Hospital. He co-created that with David Wayne from The State and the Wet Hot Crew. And he was really involved in that show. They did that show for, like, 7 seasons or something.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
good for him.
Yeah. He's an interesting guy, but, like, I don't think he was ever going to be the kind of big star that Hollywood thought he might be. I think he just like got the push because of Carell.
Well, I think he's funny in this movie.
I do too. Yeah. What about Clark Duke? He's another guy that's like
I like him a lot.
Okay. Wow. It took me a while to get into Clark Duke because weirdly because of the super bad commentary track.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I knew that Clark Duke got into the business through Michael Cera. They're like friends. They like met as child actors and kept in touch and then started making like short films together on the internet. And then Clark Duke is like a extra in Superbad. Like he like doesn't even have any lines.
Yeah, he's at the party at the very end. He's just one of the guys there.
But you see him a lot at the party. And
Mhm.
on the commentary track on the Superbad DVD, Greg Mottola says, and it sounds like he's being serious, like this kid, like you couldn't cut around him. Like he was so determined to be in every shot of the party.
Okay. That
And
was
so,
3
like,
years ago.
So when I used to see him pop up in things, I was like, this fucking star fucker, you know? But I do think he's good and stuff. Like I liked him on that last season of The Office as like fake Dwight, and
I like him too.
I think he's doing good TV work now. He was on I'm Dying Up Here on Showtime, which I enjoyed, and I think something else since. I don't remember. Oh, he was on the last season of Veronica Mars when they brought back Veronica Mars.
Okay. Yeah, I like him every time I see him pop up. I think he's got a good look. I think he's funny. I think he's better in the second one actually.
You think he's? I don't think anything is better in the second one.
Except for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're hanging out in the hot tub after Chevy Chase comes and fixes it. No, he doesn't even show up until later, right? Until
He
they're
shows
already
up.
in
He's
the
like all over
past.
the place. He shows up all over.
But not until they're in the past, right? I don't think we see him in the present.
Do we not? No, maybe we don't.
Yeah. He's looking pretty. I mean, this was like a good moment for Chevy Chase, like 2010.
No, it's not, is it? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's like he's like doing yeah.
He
But the
could've-
next one is like the worst place he's ever been in.
I
Right?
know, isn't that interesting? Like 2010, Chevy Chase was like finally at a place for like the first time since like the mid 90s where he really had an opening. He could rebuild that career and work something out, and he was doing Community and he was really funny. He was bringing it on that show and he was really funny in this, and then like he just
In
had to
this,
be
he's
like
really funny.
in the first Hot Tub Time Machine.
You think he's funny in this?
Yeah, I do. Do you
Okay.
not?
No.
Okay.
He's not terrible in this, but I wasn't like laughing at anything Chevy Chase did.
Anyway, I just think like it's a big movie that did well and he acquitted himself well in it. He could have made something out of this, and then like he got into that whole war with Dan Harmon, and
Yeah.
like the entire cast of Community fucking hated him, and it's weird. And then by the time Hot Tub Time Machine 2 comes out, he's in that movie looking like fatter and more bloated.
I was
and-
surprised he was in it, to be honest.
Yeah, and his delivery seems like more tired. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
hard
We
to
should
watch.
be excited. He's like somebody's paying him to act.
I know, it's true. All right, so it's a long. They have a nice night of drinking ahead of them.
Yeah.
All right, I don't think I would be able to go in time. It requires alcohol.
Yeah. You don't think you could do it once just to go back? It would be too much.
What do you mean? You think I'm gonna? No, I wouldn't. I can't drink alcohol.
Okay. But well, I'm wondering if you say we're in the
You
the
want
present.
me to relapse to go to the past?
No, I'm just saying. Okay, so we're in the present. You drink, we get drunk, we go back to the past. We prevent you from ever being an alcoholic. Maybe we do that.
Well, I don't think that's how alcoholism works.
What do you mean?
I think I was an alcoholic from birth. Like I was always going to be an alcoholic. I don't think there's a way to prevent it. You mean like prevent me from picking up my first drink?
Yes.
Yeah, but
Maybe
then
there's a
I'm gonna pick it up some other time. You mean like so contact me like before I've ever had a drink and say like you're gonna be a fucking alcoholic.
Yeah, so something like that, or just maybe give you something like really meaningful in that moment to get you not to drink for the first time.
What would you give me?
Maybe a girlfriend. Did you have a girlfriend the first time you drank?
Oh my god. I mean, no. I was like 11 years old.
You're 11 years old. All right. I don't know what to do then.
Yeah. I was always gonna be an alcoholic, you know. I was
It's a
sneaking.
good thought, though. I think.
I was sneaking vodka out of my parents' freezer, and
Wow.
I
Do they know
was-
about this? Are they gonna find out right now?
no, I'm sure they know.
You're sure they know. Okay.
Yeah. All right. But in this, they're drinking Four Loko, which I mean, it's not Four Loko. They're calling it Chernobyl,
Yeah.
but it's supposed to be Four Loko, right?
I don't know. Sure.
I mean, that's probably you were only 12, so you never got into Four Loko.
No.
But Four Loko was at its height around this point. It had caffeine as well as being like 17% alcohol or some shit. And boy, oh boy, were those fun times, Logan.
yeah, I can imagine.
You just have one of those, you're good. You're fucking good. You're good to go.
Do you like Mike's Hard Lemonade? That's pretty good.
What are you, some kind of pussy?
I just bring it up like the drink that was around when I was like around the age.
All right. So they go into the past, right? 1985, and that's the
I believe it's
conceit.
86, right?
Yeah, you're right. Why don't you shut the fuck up? That's the year I was born. And what time? What date is it?
Do they say a date? I don't think they do, right?
Like, what time of year is it?
I mean, they're in the snow. Do we know where this? Are they just at a snowy play? Are they in like a snowy atmosphere, or is this anywhere and it's snowing?
They're in the Kodiak Valley.
Yeah, but where's that?
It's in the Kodiak Valley.
I'm gonna guess it's winter time.
It's winter time. But like, what time of winter is it? Like December or is it March?
March is not winter.
All right, is it February?
December. I'm gonna guess December 14th,
December.
1986.
Wow. So I've been born a few months at this point. The Mets won the World Series.
Wow.
Yeah. What an exciting time. All right. So back in time, people see them as they looked then. Okay?
Right.
Craig Robinson looks like Kid and Play. To which he responds, that's one person. Or no, that's two people. Fuck.
Yeah, I
fucked
don't really
that up.
understand.
What do you mean you don't understand?
He looks like what?
Kid and Play.
What's Kid and Play?
Oh, you didn't get that reference. It's from House Party. You ever see House Party?
No.
Oh, we got to cover that. My God. Yeah, so House Party, the stars of House Party were Kid and Play. They were a rap duo, one of whom, Kid,
Like Crisscross?
had that tall. Yep. He had that tall hairdo like Craig Robinson does in the 80s in this movie.
Yeah. So he looked like him?
Yeah. So that's what he was referencing. Like John Cusack says, "You look like Kid and Play," and Craig Robinson goes, "That's actually two different people."
Okay.
It's a good joke. All right, he didn't like it because he didn't get the ref.
Yeah, I'm sure it was great.
All right, but back in time, they realized they gotta make everything happen the way that it originally happened. Meaning, Rob Corddry has to get beaten up by the ski bullies, okay? And Craig Robinson has to meet his wife or something. Is that right?
No, he has to. Well, he has to have
he
sex
has
with
to
somebody else, right?
Oh,
cheats
that's
on his
right.
wife.
He has to cheat on his wife with somebody else, and he has to perform a great performance. And what else happens? And it was so. I mean, let's just talk about those first. I
Well,
guess.
Cusack. Did you bring up Cusack? He has
No.
to break up with his girlfriend.
Right. He has to break up with his girlfriend, played by Lindsay Fonseca, who was having a moment because she was the girl in the framing device scenes on How I Met Your Mother.
Okay, I did not know that, but she looks good in this movie.
Oh, I bet she does. Yeah. And who's the other one? Clark Duke. He wasn't around in the past.
Yeah, he's just hanging out.
So he's just hanging out.
Yeah.
All right. So Corddry gets beat up. The bullies are played by Sebastian Stan
Yeah, early
and
early
Charlie.
Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, back when the world made sense, when Sebastian Stan was just a handsome dude who
Oh,
showed
come
up and
on.
stuff. All right.
Yeah. Well, you don't like him, or you don't like him as in Marvel?
He's not a great actor.
Oh,
Listen, when he was in Hot Tub Time Machine, you know what else he was doing?
what?
He had a recurring role as a bad boy on Gossip Girl. All right.
Okay.
And that made sense. It was like he should always have recurring roles on CW shows. You know what Sebastian Stan should be doing today? Playing the main villain on Dynasty.
You know what he's good in? I, Tonya, and that's a movie. That's like an Oscar-nominated movie.
Listen,
You ever
I
see
watched,
that? I, Tonya. He's
yeah,
great.
I liked it. I watched that Pam and Tommy this year.
Yeah, that too.
All right. You got Sebastian Stan as Tommy.
Yep.
You've got Lily James as Pam, and you got
Yep.
Seth Rogen as the fella who stole their sex tape. All right. And you got Rogen and Lily James just acting circles around this pretty
really?
boy. Yeah, I mean, he just the whole show. He's all right, but he just looks like Sebastian Stan with a bunch of tattoos painted on him.
Do they show this? Do they shoot the sex tape?
Oh yeah,
Did they really do? That's fun.
it's good stuff.
Does he do the thing where he like shows his penis walking toward the camera, like in the sex tape?
Yeah, they did. They did a bit where Jason Mantzoukas plays the voice of his penis.
No.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. Speaking of hogs, there's a good Wild Hogs reference in this movie.
Well, Seth Rogen played a hog. He played Pumbaa. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. I was reminded of it recently in the Chippendales Rescue Ranger
They
film.
talk about that?
He shows up.
He shows up and says, "Hey, remember when I played Pumbaa?"
They do Seth Rogen does a character in Chippendale Rescue Ranger, and then they do a bit where all of Seth Rogen's animated characters all show up on the screen.
Oh my gosh, that sounds great.
Yeah, it is good.
Are you guys
Um,
covering that? Y'all doing We Love Kids movies for that?
We might be. Pay attention this week to patreon.com/the franchise.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, yeah, Sebastian Stan. I think the better actor is Charlie McDermott, his pal there.
Yeah, he's okay. They're both good.
I knew him as the oldest brother, Axel Heck on ABC's The Middle.
So is Sebastian Stan going to be your LVP? Is that what's happening?
Oh, I hadn't even really thought about it. I'm just saying, this is where he makes sense. Playing a ski bully.
Oh, you think he's good in this?
That's what he should be playing. Yeah.
I think he's good. I don't love him in the Marvel stuff, but he's fine. He's good in I, Tonya. That's why he's great in that.
Yeah, he's always just so broody in those fucking Marvel movies. Everyone's having a good time except this fucking guy hanging out in a fucking cave in Wakanda.
Yeah, he's honestly one of the worst characters in the MCU, probably.
Yeah, I'm glad they put him where he belongs this year on TV.
Yeah, and then he should be acting alongside Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie, I think, is a far better actor.
I don't like him in the MCU either.
I don't love him in the MCU, but every time I see him in something else, I'm reminded, like, oh, he's awesome.
Yeah.
So Cordry has probably the arc with the biggest, like, he's the heart of the movie with the biggest implications because he ends up staying behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he ends up boning Cusack's sister.
Right, Clark Duke's mother.
Right, and he realized, yeah, that's a big thing. He realizes he's the dad of Clark Duke, and so he stays behind in the past to be a better father to Clark Duke. Isn't that interesting?
Well, I don't think that's why he stays behind at all.
But that's one of the reasons that I understand
so
that he stays behind to form Lugal, the great company.
And he says he was like gonna kill himself. He's like, I may as well stay behind and see like what else I can do. If I was gonna kill myself in the present, you may as well.
Yeah, but he specifically says, like, maybe I can be a dad.
Okay. I didn't notice that, but
he does say that.
I mean, he doesn't do a good job because in the next movie, he's
I don't want to. That's why I don't want to talk about the second movie right now, because I thought it had such a nice little wrap up in this movie, and they totally fuck it up in the next movie.
No, I liked it too. That he was like very depressed in the present, so he figured he would stay in the past and see if he could change things. But I didn't understand. I didn't get that he was going to be a great dad.
I think he was going to be a great dad. All right.
All right.
And his sister, Cusack's sister, by the way, played by Colette Wolfe, who was a Jody Hill discovery. First seen in Jody Hill's The Foot Fist Way and Observe and Report before making her own way. She was also briefly married to Jody Hill.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there, but they're no longer married, and she no longer shows up in his work. So I don't believe it was amicable.
That's upsetting. Can I bring something up? There was...
Yeah, go ahead.
Adam, the main character, I guess. Is he the main character? John Cusack. He says that Clark Duke is 20 years old. right? And they go back to 19. This is 2010. They go back to 1986, and he's born 9 months later. So he would be 2007 when he's born. No, how is he? How is it 2010 and he's 20 years old?
Well, he should be 24 years old.
Right, but they say he's 20 years old.
Well, that's incorrect.
Yes, it is incorrect.
All right, listen, if you're right about that, then you're right about that. What do you want me to say?
I'm just bringing it up.
All right, great. So Craig Robinson, he's got to perform. All right, he was in a band at this time. Do we know the name of the band? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
And this is a crazy scene. Okay, he decides he's gonna like really perform his heart out and do well because in the past he fucked up and was like shy on stage and no one liked it, right?
Yeah.
So now he decides, well, I have 25 years of great music to choose from that I could pass off as my own, you know? I could choose almost anything. Like it's 1986, right? So people are obsessed with Michael Jackson. People are hungry for new Michael Jackson stuff. So I could get up there and perform like Bad, you know, or Black or White or some Black and White or you know, something like that. That would be good.
Yeah.
Or
Man in the Mirror.
You know, Man in the Mirror would be great. Grunge hasn't happened yet. That would blow their minds, right? Get up there, do like Smell.
Play Even Flow? Are you kidding me?
Sure, Even Flow.
Their minds would melt.
Yeah, their minds would melt. All right. They also haven't really heard much, you know, modern rap yet. He could have gotten up there, done some like Jesus Walks. It would have blown their fucking minds. Or like I don't know, like Heart of the City by Jay-Z.
Yeah, forgot about Dre, maybe.
I think the contents of the lyrics would confuse them because it's very self-referential about a man named Dr. Dre that they don't know yet.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so what he decides of all the songs from the next 24 years, he goes with the radio edit version of Let's Get Retarded by the Black Eyed Peas.
What? I didn't know that's what it was called. Are you serious?
How do you not know that?
I thought it was called Let's Get It Started.
No, the Black Eyed Peas have a song called Let's Get Retarded, and when they released it as a single, they changed it to Let's Get It Started.
I'm gonna have to listen to that. I didn't know that. Yeah, but even so, even if it was just Let's Get It Started, why this song?
Even so.
Why this song though?
It is such a crazy choice. And you know, it's even crazier because in the next movie, they show him come up with I Got a Feeling.
Yeah.
Why is he obsessed with the Black Eyed Peas?
Yeah. Well, also I have a question about in the next movie. That doesn't really make sense, right? He's in the future creating the Lisa Loeb song. Does that mean she didn't create the song just because he went back in time originally? I don't really understand.
I mean, we'll obviously get there, right? But it's important to talk about that, I think, because Lisa Loeb wrote the song Stay in 1995, as far as I know. And they show him in 2015 doing a video for that song. And then Lisa Loeb shows up as herself.
It's nuts.
And says to him, like, I feel almost, it's so personal. Like, I relate to this so much. Almost like I've been violated. Which is like a funny joke, but
it's too weird, though. It's not that funny.
But it doesn't
make no
sense because it would make sense if they showed him in like 1994 doing this. But why wouldn't Lisa Loeb have come up with the song before 2015?
Right. He should have sang like a Zayn Malik song.
Yeah, it needed to be something super modern.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really weird.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It is funny though that they do the music video. Like seeing him recreate the music video is funny. That's funny, but it just makes no sense. You can't do it because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know. It really doesn't. So by the way, so Cordry, I'm still on. Oh wait, no, we're on Craig Robinson now. So he performs "Let's Get Retarded." Let's Get It Started. Excuse me. He does the radio edit version. I'm so sorry. And then afterwards, he has to go fuck a groupie because that's what he did 20 years ago or whatever. And the groupie is played by Jessica Paré from Mad Men.
Oh yeah, I looked her up. I didn't. Know
All
her
right,
from
listen.
anything.
This is the woman that Don Draper left his wife, Jennifer. What is her name? January Jones. He left January Jones for her.
Yeah.
All right. That's how incredible she is. Megan Draper. She gets up there. She's half French. She sings "Zooby Zooby Zoo." It's like the fucking sexiest thing you've ever seen in your life. All right. And she's incredible on that show. These days, you can find her on Paramount Plus on the great show SEAL Team.
Wow.
Yeah. But listen, I have not seen this movie since 2010. All right. And she had not shown up.
Was that where you saw Kelsey
Who's Kelsey?
from High School Musical? This has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but you saw Kelsey in something. And I looked up Kelsey, and I thought she was in SEAL Team or something. What was it that you were watching?
No.
Kelsey was in?
I was watching The Rookie. I was
Okay.
watching the show The Rookie with Nathan Fillion.
Okay, and Kelsey was in that.
Yeah, she showed up in an episode, and so I sent you a pic.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Looking
Continue.
fine, by the way. You know what else was crazy about that? Her brother in that episode. I looked up who played that guy.
Was it Lucas
And it was-
Grabeel?
No, it was the
Oh, that'd be
fella
nuts.
who was the singing voice of Troy.
What?
Yeah,
That's crazy. That guy's acting now? That's cool.
I guess so. Yeah.
All right. Wow.
All right. So anyway, Mad Men was not a thing. I mean, Mad Men was a thing in 2010. A couple seasons it aired, but Megan Draper does not show up until season 3 or 4. And so she shows her boobs in this movie. Logan.
Yes.
And I was not expecting it. And boy, oh boy, it was a little too much for me.
So she doesn't in Mad Men, but she did here, and you didn't expect that?
I was not expecting it. I was not expecting to see those little pink wonders.
She's good.
She's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. Boy. Anyway, hey, if I'm being gross about her, why don't I get gross about this? Hey, did you notice that when Cordry was fucking Adam's sister, when he came, he said dropping loads like that one porn star?
What porn star says dropping loads?
Listen, this might be before your time. He was big in the 90s. There was
Every time he said dropping loads, that was
there
like
was
his
that
shtick?
was his signature.
What?
When
When
it
he
was
was successful?
time, he was huge. You'd see him all the time.
dropping
and-
loads.
When it was time for the money shot, he would go dropping
Oh
loads.
my God, that's terrible. And it worked. It won people over.
Yeah, and so Rob Corddry says that in this movie, and I thought it was such a funny, weird reference.
Yeah, no, I didn't get the reference.
Anyway, yeah. I hate the wrap up to Craig Robinson's story. When he gets back to present day, he's like rich now because he became famous off of the backs of other artists, like will.i.am,
Yeah.
and his wife now has not cheated on him,
Right.
and I think that's the wrong message to send to people. Like, if you're rich, like if you have enough money, now your wife will be faithful to you.
Yeah, I think the whole thing with him is actually my least favorite thing. The whole thing with like his wife is I don't care. It's weird.
It's a terrible arc. It
Yeah.
doesn't really make sense. It's it's a little misogynistic, but also like I kind of think like if someone's gonna cheat on you when you're poor, they're gonna cheat on you when you're rich too.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right. So what are the other arcs? Adam Cusack. Adam Cusack. His name is Adam in the movie, but it's John Cusack. He's hanging out with Lizzie Kaplan the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, she's like a journalist. They go to see Poison, right?
Yeah,
And-
they go.
and
to
she's
see
like a journalist,
Poison.
but she's flirting with Cusack the whole time. She's a journalist who's supposed to be there for this band, but she's just flirting the whole time.
Well, yeah, she writes for Spin magazine. All right, they don't have the best journalists in the world over there. But yeah, she's writing about Poison and flirting with this kid. I thought it was weird too. Why is she so into this kid? He seems weird from like the second she meets him.
Yeah, but
He's
she's
like-
obsessed. It is weird. It's very
Yeah,
weird.
he's like totally hot and cold on her, and like she just like wants to fuck him. Like from the it's a real like manic pixie dream girl type. And but the thing about it is Lizzie Kaplan was the greatest at it at this time. There was this period of time like between this
Better
was-
than Deschanel.
well, Deschanel was this a couple years before this. And then Lizzie Kaplan took over around this time. Lizzie Kaplan in Party Down. There is no human being easier to fall in love with.
No, I mean, yeah, you're probably right. Is that on at this point though? I mean, New Girl
Yes.
is on. 500 Days of Summer just happened.
New Girl is not on yet.
New Girl's not on
20, in
I thought it started
2010.
in 2010.
No.
Oh, sorry, it's 2011. Well, 500 Days of Summer just happened. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, no. But like to me, like Deschanel, the height of her career was like Elf
What?
and all the real. Yeah.
That's the height of her. No, the height of her career is New Girl.
No, New Girl was when she had to like realize, oh, I'm not a movie star. I'll go be a TV star.
I think having your own show for 10 years is better than being an elf.
7 years.
Oh, come on. But I think that's better.
If she had it her way, she would have been a movie star.
What about
you know?
marrying a property brother? Is that better or worse?
It's worse. You
I don't know if
kidding
they're
me?
married.
Is marrying a property brother an upgrade or a downgrade from marrying a Death Cab for Cutie? I don't even know at this
She
point.
was married to one of those guys?
She was married to the main Death Cab for Cutie.
Wow. Is he a cutie? She thought so, I guess.
He's super cutie. Yeah, Ben Gibbard.
Okay.
He does this little shuffle move when he's playing live. He goes back and forth, bloop, bloop, with his shoulder.
Okay.
All right, and what happens to Clark Duke? Does he meet anybody back there?
Well, he almost has a threesome with Rob Corddry and some lady at one point, but that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Cordry has a good little dynamic with him in this movie, though.
Yeah. I think they're good. I think they're the best parts of these movies, actually.
I like when they pull Crispin Glover into the room and they jump on top of him and he goes, "Are you raping? Are you raping?"
Well, should we say, I guess the best bit in this movie is the Crispin Glover thing that they're wondering when he's going to get his arm ripped off.
Yeah, they know that he only has one arm in the present day. So
That's
they're-
funny.
And he keeps getting in situations like the elevators going haywire.
The
He's doing an
chainsaw.
ice sculpture with a chainsaw. Yeah,
The elevator's the funniest part, though, because it goes like all the way down and then it goes all the way up, and you think it's going to happen twice and it doesn't.
It's a great bit, and Crispin's having a lot of fun with it, and I'm sure he was a nightmare to work with on this set, like every other one. But he always
filmed
brings
for a
it.
day,
One of the
though.
greatest actors,
Like
in the
3
world.
hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's great.
yeah. All right, you got anything else?
Hero by Enrique Iglesias. That's a good song.
That is a good song.
Yeah, they played that at one
A
point.
lot of good music in them. I mean, because all the '80s shit they pulled. It's just a treasure trove of big '80s hits.
Yeah, the music's good. Nothing really else from this movie. It's okay. It's fine. This movie's fine.
I gotta say, I liked it more than I remembered liking it. I remembered thinking it was fine, and then I was watching it yesterday, going like, "God damn, this goes down easy." Like, I should be watching this every couple of years.
The Cusack Kaplan stuff is pretty boring and useless, right? All the Cusack stuff. Him breaking up with his girlfriend goes nowhere. Him with Lizzie Kaplan goes nowhere. I'm
But
glad he's not in the
it-
second one.
No, but you're wrong. Like, to me, John Cusack grounds the movie. He's the one I want to follow. Like, John Cusack going through a breakup is always going to be the most interesting part of any movie. I love
But that's just a
sad.
setup. He's not going through a breakup. It's just like he was broken up with, and now he is going back in time.
Okay, so what's his arc the rest of the movie, right? Because Lizzie Kaplan is trying to hang out with him. What's he actually doing? I don't remember.
Well, he meets to break up with his girlfriend, but she's so hot that he doesn't do it. And then he meets her. He does tell a story at one point, like his dad died. He like they
Oh
had
my
a
god,
different
that's an
thing one night.
amazing. Yeah.
What are you talking about? It's so useless. That's so pointless.
I loved that monologue.
Come on, that was so stupid. I thought.
And that was a good scene with the breakup because he stops himself from she's the great white buffalo. That's a good bit. Like the girl he never should have broken up with. And so he finally gets he's about to break up with her and he doesn't do it, and then she breaks up with him. And 25 years ago she stabbed him in the eye with a fork, and he gets mad because it's like, oh my god, you were gonna break up with me anyway and you still stabbed me in the eye with a fork.
Yeah.
All right, this doesn't, honestly, it sounds terrible when I'm describing it, but in the movie it kind of works, man. It's pretty fun.
I didn't think so. I thought the Clark Duke stuff was better. The Cordry stuff was better. The Robinson stuff wasn't better, but he is
Have
better.
you even seen fucking the classic Cusack movies? I think you just don't have the residual
Yes,
Cusack
I've seen.
love.
No, I have not seen High Fidelity, but that's one that I've always wanted to see. Even like last year, I told you I needed to watch that movie. But I've seen Say Anything. That's a great movie.
Yeah, he's Lloyd Dobler.
Yep, great movie. He's great in that.
But I mean, you gotta see Grosse Point Blank and High Fidelity and
1408, seen it.
Better Off Dead, and yeah, I love those movies.
Yeah, no, I get it. I do need to see more Cusack stuff.
The Grifters.
Yeah. Well, you do too. I just named 10 movies you haven't seen. You watch those movies. I'll watch his good stuff.
Fuck off. I've done my due diligence, bitch. All right. I mean, that's so crazy to me that like he's the least interesting part of the movie for you.
I don't think it's that crazy.
Anyway, so I'm into it. I'm gonna watch this again in like 2 years.
Wow.
What do you give it?
Well, I give it 3 stars, but I thought it was actually crazy. At one point, Rob Corddry says like, we need to prevent Miley Cyrus, and they're like, from doing what? And he's like, we'll just prevent her. But that doesn't even happen yet. Her whole thing. She hasn't even done anything crazy at this point.
I think she was just Hannah Montana at the time, and she was annoying.
That's stupid. Hannah Montana's a great show. Why I don't see why they're singling her out.
At the time, I probably would have liked that joke because I probably thought she sucked too. But like, it just plays different now because she's different. Like, there's plenty of stuff like that in this movie. At one point, Rob Corddry says like, maybe I'll come up with Twitter, or whatever that is. Like, he talks about it like he dismisses it like it's this bullshit thing that young people do.
Well,
whereas
it is 2010.
now
it kind of was like a bullshit thing that like. Twitter
no, I
was not
know,
what it
but
was
I'm just saying like that's changed as well, in the same way that like the public opinion on Miley Cyrus has changed.
Yeah, but I don't think she'd done anything to make people hate her. Then I think that seemed weird to me.
She was just a pain in the ass, dude. She was Billy Ray Cyrus's daughter, who was like famous for no reason.
All she had done is like The Climb and Party in the USA. What's to hate?
Nepotism.
But she's good. Miley Cyrus is a really good singer.
I agree, but we didn't know yet.
Yeah, I guess you're right. What a
you
career
did.
for I love Miley Cyrus's career, honestly. I really do.
What's your favorite part? That Woody Allen miniseries she did for Amazon Prime?
No, I just love that everyone hated her, and then she's like this great artist that smart people acknowledge and like. I think.
I know. Now she when she goes on SNL, she gets to host and be the musical guest.
She's awesome,
and people love it. Yeah,
yeah.
She is great. I'm a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
And she did a record with the Flaming Lips. She's real cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about Hot Tub Time Machine 2, which I've
she has
never
a relationship
seen
with Dolly
before.
Parton. That's cool.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't do MVP, LVP. I'll go Corddry MVP, Cusack LVP. No, I'll go Cusack LVP.
Cusack, LV. That's disgusting.
It's between him or Chevy Chase. Who do you want?
I think both choices are reprehensible.
Who else is there? You're gonna go Sebastian Stan? Sebastian Stan's way better.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He
You
plays
think
like the
Sebastian
douchey
Stan?
frat guy.
You think
Great.
Sebastian Stan brings more to this movie than John Cusack?
Well, I would take him out and make there not be a bad guy in this movie, probably, and make it something else. But yeah, I think he offers more than Cusack does.
Oh God, out of control.
Sorry.
All right, my MVP, of course, Crispin Glover.
Yeah, he was second.
Yeah, Cordry was second for me.
Yeah.
And LVP, boy oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sebastian Stan. Leave me alone.
All right, I'm not gonna fight you on it. It's limit. I don't think anybody's so bad, and no, I don't think anybody's so good.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a 3.
It's a total 3. Yeah, but I will say I was at a 4 for a little while.
That's crazy.
I know I had it as a 3 on Letterboxd already, like as my grade that I remembered it being from like 2010.
Mhm.
And watching it, I was like, God damn, I'm enjoying the fuck out of this. And I think I just like hit a wall with that Lizzie Kaplan stuff at a certain point. Like, it's just
That's the Cusack stuff.
but it's not Cusack's fault. It's the movie's fault. The movie just doesn't have any interest in fucking women. Like, no woman in this movie has an actual personality, and it's weird. Like, Cusack's sister is literally there just to be fucked by Rob Corddry. And like,
I liked her actually. I think she's
Jessica.
good.
No, she's great. She's funny. She's always good. But like,
She's the best actress in the movie. The best woman.
how dare you, Jessica Paré?
No, I actually think I didn't think about her until you just said it, but I think the mom's actually pretty funny.
Who's the mom?
Well, I mean, Clark Duke's mom, the sister.
Oh, the sister. Yeah, I thought that's who we were talking about.
It is. Yeah, I think she's the best woman performance in the movie.
All right, great.
And that's better than the second movie. The second movie we have Britta, and she does nothing in that movie. She's even worse than
know.
anybody in this movie.
I agree.
Not that
These
she's
movies,
terrible, but
these movies hate women. Even look at the fucking cover. Do you see the poster of the movie?
yeah, it's really weird, right? It's like a math
It's
equation.
one of those. It's one of those headless women posters. Do you know about the headless women movement?
No.
That's like this website, on the World Wide Web, and they collect movie posters where it's like a woman's body and the head is cut off.
I didn't even notice
and
that on the
it's
poster.
like it's a feminist thing. Oh, you know what? That's a different poster. Look at the poster they have on Letterboxd. Or look, or slide over to the Blu-ray poster here on the Blu-ray cover. It's like the 4 of them, and then a sexy lady in the foreground with unrated across her boobs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
her head's cut off. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, that is weird. I'm thinking of the other one where it's like it's like them, and it says like plus the drink and the hot tub, and this equals back in
Yeah.
time.
I do remember that. That's a bad one.
Yeah.
Look at this. It says kicksomepast.com
Oh.
on the poster. If you went to that website, maybe you could read cast bios.
Kick some pass.
Kick some past.
I hate that.
I hate it too. All right. So 5 years fucking later, Hot Tub Time Machine 2 comes out. And listen, they had a few different places they can go with this.
Mm-hmm.
They could have gotten Sean Anders and John Morris, who they fired from the first movie, to come back. Clearly, they're willing to do sequels. They did Horrible Bosses 2, but not Horrible Bosses 1. I say they wrote the script that got John Cusack involved in the first movie. You get those guys on board, say, you guys write and direct this movie. But they don't do that. They stick with Steve Pink, Cusack's friend, as director, even though Cusack is no longer involved. And they get back Josh Heald, the fellow who wrote the original draft of Hot Tub Time Machine, to come back and write the sequel.
Yeah. So what went wrong?
I think that's where it went wrong.
Yeah.
I think they needed to get those fucking daddies home, guys.
Oh my gosh, they were the secret formula.
Yeah, they were part of that formula. Drinks
Wow.
plus squirrel plus those guys
Plus the daddies home
equals
guys.
Hot Tub Time Machine. Yeah. So this one came out Feb 2015 on a budget of $18 million, exactly half of the first movie's budget
Wow.
because of John Cusack being
No way he had all that money though.
He probably got paid like $12 million.
$12 million for that
He was
movie?
getting a good paycheck back then,
I don't
man.
know
He
about
was
that.
still a star, yeah.
Wow.
And this movie didn't do well, dude. It made 13.
Holy cow.
I know, really bad.
That's crazy.
It came in at 120 at the American
Whoa.
box office between Strange Magic. Do you remember what that is?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
That was like a George Lucas fairy movie.
Yeah.
Fucking tanked.
Mm-hmm.
And the other movie it's right next to is Self/Less, which was like a Ryan Reynolds indie.
Okay.
Remember that? Yeah, I think it was by the dude that did The Cell with J-Lo.
All right.
Tarsem. It's me, Tarsem. He used to only have one name, but then he added a last name. I guess he like figured out that was a douchey thing.
Oh. What's Zendaya's last name? Do you know Zendaya's last name?
No, but I gotta be honest. When I first heard about Zendaya, I judged her on that one name thing.
Really?
I went into my first Zendaya experience going like, this girl's gonna suck.
Coleman. Her last name's Coleman.
All right.
Yeah.
Probably gonna be Holland in a couple of years, right?
Oh, I hope not.
Oh, why? You think it's gonna be Adair?
Why you say it like that? Making fun of me?
Yeah, well, I'm making fun of you for being delusional.
Mm.
All right, so let's talk about some of the Razzies that this movie was nominated for.
Oh, yeah.
It's the raspberries, no razzmatazz. Well, all we're lacking is a little pizzazz, 'cause it's the golden raspberries. It's the worst of the worst, not the best of the best. It's pizzazz gone raz.
Chevy Chase was nominated for Worst Supporting Actor.
Wow. They just hated
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. And he was actually nominated for both this and the Vacation remake or reboot or whatever.
Oh, he's in that?
Yeah. And he lost to Eddie Redmayne for his role as the villain in Jupiter Ascending, which I think is a really great choice by
He
the
sucks, right?
Razzies. Eddie Redmayne, first of all, just sucks in general.
Yeah,
Like
he
in
really
everything.
does. I hate him.
Like if Eddie Redmayne shows up in something, you can be guaranteed that he's gonna suck.
His face, the way he talks, the way he acts, just everything.
Yeah, he's
nothing I
got
like about him.
He's got an annoying fish mouth, a very punchable face. You just want to see someone with steel-toed boots kick the shit out of him.
Put him in a John Wick movie.
Yeah, yeah, and then just let the stuntmen have their way with him. But so in Jupiter Ascending, especially though, he's so horrible in that. Have you ever seen that movie?
Nope.
Dude, he does this villain in that movie, and he insists.
I've seen the
on,
clips. Yeah.
He insists on doing this voice the whole time, where it's like, "Follow the bees,
Yeah.
follow the bees. The bees will make you the queen." That's literally how he sounds the entire movie.
Yeah. He's like the guy in Rogue One.
Who's that?
Forrest Whitaker in Rogue One.
Is that how he sounds?
Right?
I like Forrest Whitaker.
I do too, but he has that voice in Rogue One. Saw Gerrera, that's his name.
I'm Forrest Whitaker.
Right? That's his voice. in Rogue
I've
One.
got a lazy eye.
He's great.
I was the final king of Scotland.
Save the rebellion! Save the dream!
Oh, it was also nominated for worst remake or sequel at the Razzies. All right,
Okay.
but it lost to Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's better.
Yeah? Is it?
I think the Josh Trank Fantastic Four is a better movie than Hot Tub Time.
Well,
Machine
because half
2.
that movie is kind of cool, right?
Yeah, I like.
Isn't
bits
the
and
first
pieces of
half
that
pretty
movie.
good?
Yeah, it really is. It falls apart
When they're like on Earth?
Remember at the end when it's like,
No, I don't
Oh.
remember the end. I'll just tell you that right now.
No, what is it though? It's like, man, what an amazing journey. Yeah, you can say that, or maybe it was fantastic, something like
yeah,
that.
they do have a line
it's
like
so bad.
Well, they were all doing that. The Suicide Squad was that year too. Every movie around this time had to.
How'd they do that?
So that's it. What, we some kind of Suicide Squad?
Who says it? Will Smith?
Oh yeah. And then he slapped Chris Rock. Yeah.
Oh, is that just gonna come up anytime Will Smith's brought up? I gotta be honest.
Honestly, I didn't want to do it, but I felt I had to.
I was watching baseball the other night, and there was a pitcher named Will Smith, just like some random white guy, and the first thing I thought of was Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
Yeah, it was a huge thing that happened.
It's never gonna go away.
No.
All right. Anyway. All right, Hot Tub Time Machine 2. So the first movie ends with this fun bit where we go to present day because Rob Corddry has stayed behind to raise Clark Duke and to be with John Cusack's late sister, and so he starts Google and gets rich and makes his friends all rich too, basically, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's how that movie ends. And then it also has this music video at the end of Rob Corddry performing the Motley Crue song Home Sweet Home, but he's in a band Motley Lou.
Right.
And at the time watching that movie, that doesn't make sense, okay? Because in 1986, Motley Crue was already a huge band.
Oh.
And we know that in the world of the movie, they were aware of them because at one point, Rob Corddry bonds with William Zabka over the fact that they both love Motley Crue.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah. So Motley Lou is a funny joke over the closing credits of the first movie. But if you think about it for longer than 2 seconds, it doesn't hold weight. So if you're going to do a sequel, Hot Tub Time Machine 2, my advice to them would be completely ignore that.
Yeah, I agree with you. That didn't click with me.
But that's not what they do. They go with both things, where he's like a tech mogul and the head of Lugal, but he's also
cut that one.
Yeah, he's also the lead of a famous band called Motley Lou.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
All right. The movie opens with a fake phone ringing in the theater. Did you like that? It's supposed to like get the audience to be like, "What the fuck?"
I don't remember that happening.
What are you talking? It's like it starts on black and there's like a phone ringing, and then like the first line of the movie, Corddry's like, "Someone left their phone on."
Oh,
What?
yes.
That's
No,
what that line is for the audience in theaters.
Yeah, I'm not in a theater, so I didn't really get it, I guess.
But I think about it a lot. I love when you see that when you're at home, like at the end of Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah,
when,
you can go home now.
Yeah, or at the end of School of Rock, he makes a joke like, "There's sticky stuff on the floor."
Yes.
Assuming you're still in the theater.
The guy's coming in to clean. You got to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Deadpool when he rips off Ferris Bueller.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's one of the better bits in that movie, I guess. Okay, so let's catch up with our cast in the year 2015. And Cusack's not in the movie, but we're told that he's living the life with Lizzie Kaplan. My problem with some of these happy endings in the movie is that they don't remember, like they remember their lives as they existed before jumping into the hot tub, right?
Yeah.
So like when John Cusack goes to the present day and sees that he's married to Lizzie Kaplan, he's surprised to see Lizzie Kaplan in his life. Like, isn't that going to throw him? And isn't he like upset that he can't remember those years? Or does he have memories of those years and he has to like suss out which memories are real and which ones are, implanted from the change because of what Corddry has done in the past?
It's a good question.
Did you think about any of that?
No, not that aspect of it from his perspective. Yeah, I guess you're right. Like, when Captain America goes back, he decides to live his whole life with what's her face, and but that's what he knows. But I guess
that's a beautiful thing. But like Cusack doesn't get to do that.
right.
He just at some point it kicks in the year 2010, like, oh, I've been married to this amazing woman.
I don't think
for
he
the last
remembers.
25 years.
Yeah, I don't think he remembers.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And I think that would be fucked up. And I also think it would complicate things because now he wouldn't remember things about their life. And so she would think something was up and something was weird. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying
Well,
to say.
maybe that's why he's
Okay.
not in the movie, so we don't have to deal with that.
Yeah. So, although did you watch the unrated version by any chance?
I saw boobs.
Well, I did too, but I read that in the unrated version there was a John Cusack cameo that was not in the rated version.
Oh, I saw John Cusack.
You did?
Yeah, at the end of the movie.
What does he do?
He shows up. He comes out after. Okay, so what happens at the end of the movie for you?
It's just like a montage of them in the hot tub, like traveling around through time.
Okay, well, I mean, they come back, and Cusack shows up, and he's like, "We have to go to Cincinnati." Remember they have that box that has Cincinnati on it, but they don't explain ever.
Oh yeah.
Cusack says, "We have to go to Cincinnati," and he jumps into the hot tub and he leaves. But then Cordry comes, and he's like from like the Revolutionary War, and he's like, "We have to go save America," and then they jump in with Cordry.
Oh, see, that I saw. I didn't see the
Oh.
Cusack thing.
Yeah, Cusack showed up, but they didn't follow him. They went with Cordry.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I didn't know that it wasn't in your cut. So maybe
Kind
I
of
saw I guess I saw the unrated cut.
You did. Yours was like 8 minutes longer than mine. That's why I didn't want to watch it.
Wow. Okay, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. So Cordry is a real terror at this point. I thought he was going to raise Clark Duke right in the past, but he clearly hasn't. He treats him like shit. Also, that's another weird thing, another weird relationship where, like, he went back in time and raised Clark Duke as though he was his own son. But all of Clark Duke's memories are of Rob Corddry as a deadbeat dad still.
This is very interesting.
Right? I
Yeah.
don't think you can make a sequel to this movie because it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but Cordry wasn't a good dad. Was he a good dad in his own mind? Like in his timeline, was he a good dad? But in Clark Duke's, he just
No,
wasn't?
I think that his part of the reason he wanted to stay in the past was to be a better father.
But he wasn't.
Maybe he was, but Clark Duke has no memory of it, and
But he's not
clearly
treating
now,
him very nice.
No, he's not. He's making him his assistant. But I don't know. I don't know if now he's just like a terror. They seem to, imply that he's an alcoholic and a drug addict because at the end of the movie he goes to rehab,
Yeah,
and
how
that's
about
going to
that?
solve all his problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got news for you, buddy. A lot of additional problems after that. Cordry's a fucking terror in this movie, though. Like, he's just a piece of shit. He's so likable in the first movie, like he's just like a fun asshole, and in this movie, like from moment one, what's up with that scene early on in like the legal offices where he makes a female coworker like turn
Yeah.
around and like someone's pressing their dick and balls against the window?
I'm surprised they show that in your cut, actually. I thought that might have been only my not rated thing.
Oh no, I was able to see the dick and balls.
Yeah, that was crazy to me,
But
too.
like that's fucked up. Like, she can sue him instantly.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. This is 2015, I guess, different times.
2015. It was
I
like
know.
a couple years ago, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, it's crazy. You mean
Oh
you
my
mean the
God.
office where Kumail Nanjiani is there? You
Oh,
mean
that's
that
right.
office?
Yeah, it's Kumail Nanjiani before he got hooked on that Marvel human growth hormone,
Yeah.
and he's acquitting himself well. I liked back when Kumail had a little bit of an edge before the Big Sick.
Well, the Big Sick's like his best thing, right?
Yeah, but I think it made him.
I like that movie.
Now he thinks he's a real hero.
Yeah, he
Those
does.
like-
But I like that movie.
It's okay. It's solid 3.
I laughed a lot when I watched that in the movie theater. The 9/11 joke, great 9/11 joke in that movie.
The best part of that movie is Ray Romano.
Oh, he is great. Well, so is Holly Hunter. They're both great.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah, he specifically is great.
Okay, so like Cordry has this big party, and Bruce Buffer is there.
Oh yeah.
I find that this film reminded me of Bruce Buffer. Like if the original Hot Tub Time Machine is Michael Buffer, Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is Bruce Buffer.
Wow. I didn't know he was that much worse. I don't like either of them.
And what ends up happening is Cordry gets shot in the dick.
Yep.
They don't treat it like a life-ending injury at first, but then later in the movie, they keep referring to it like he got killed. You know what's fucked up, actually? When I Googled Hot Tub Time Machine
He probably
2
would have
to
died.
Yeah, I guess so. When
There's
I
a
Googled,
shotgun to the dick.
You can survive that, right?
If a shotgun shoots you in like your midsection, I feel like you're probably gonna die.
I guess you're right. Yeah, just a shotgun
Especially from that
blast.
close. They were like in the same room, like right next to each other.
They weren't next to each other. It was
He
like a
pulls it out when
sniper.
he's like on. No, he's a shot. He pulls it out when he's on stage. He's just like standing there and he just pulls it out. They're all in the same room. It's like the Sorry to Bother You set. Remember that movie?
Yeah, that movie's dumb.
It's
Better than this.
Well, yeah, come on.
I mean, it's not dumb. I like the first half of Sorry to Bother You. It gets like,
But it's at least
You know,
interesting. Like you can watch that and have thoughts.
no, of course. It tries to get all surrealist though at the end, and I'm not that into it. So they put him in the hot tub and take him back in time and they try to solve his murder so that they can prevent him from being murdered. And you know, when I googled Hot Tub Time Machine 2 to figure out how to watch it, I want to, you know how on Google they give you like those 4 questions, like frequently asked questions about the thing you're Googling?
Yeah, sure.
One of the questions was, who's the killer in Hot Tub Time Machine
wow.
2? And I was like, what the fuck? What movie is this? I thought it had to be like a joke, but it wasn't. There really is a killer.
Yeah.
So they bring him back wait, what ends up happening though? They go forwards in time.
Yeah, they go to 2025.
Which doesn't really make sense, right?
Why not?
Why would they go forwards in time instead of going back to prevent his death?
It's on accident.
Oh, it's on accident?
Yeah, I assume they can't choose when they. I think the first time just happened to be an accident. They thought it would happen again. They'd go back to 86, but it just went a different way.
You know, in the first movie, they're drinking a lot of fake brands of beer and stuff. And in this one, they're drinking a lot of PBR. I think somebody made an endorsement deal.
Oh, yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Clark Duke makes a reference to, he says that it's like Fringe, which immediately appealed to me because I love Fringe, one of my favorite shows. But then they all made fun of him and make a song about how he's a nerd and everyone hates him.
Yeah, they also mentioned Looper at one point. You ever see that movie?
No, it's on my list though.
I thought that was actually the perfect movie to use in this because, like, Lou was like, "Whoa, you spoiled me on it," which, like, I haven't seen it either. So, like, a lot of people would be like, "Wow, you spoiled me," so that joke would work. But then a lot of other people would be like, "Oh, they mentioned Looper. That's a cool movie." So I feel like it works either way.
It's
feel like that's a good
actually,
movie to use.
I thought it worked because it didn't even spoil me. He says it so fast that by the time that they get to the joke, like you spoiled me, like I missed what he said.
Yeah, but I thought choosing Looper was pretty funny.
Yeah. So finally we meet Adam Scott, who's ostensibly the 4th lead of this movie. I thought he was going to be in it way more, but he kind of is only in the second like half of it.
Yeah.
And it turns out that I hate this. John Cusack impregnated the Great White Buffalo Girl.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the product of their relationship. Cusack doesn't know about him, so that's annoying too, because we got this nice happy ending with Cusack at the end of the last movie, and now you're making him a deadbeat dad.
Yeah,
basically.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, but Adam Scott is hilarious. He's one of my favorite actors, and so I'm just happy he's in this.
Really? I think I liked him best in Step Brothers. I don't think I've ever liked him in anything more than Step Brothers.
Well, you know, he's a guy who I think has always searched for the right thing, because he's funny, but he's good at dramatic shit, but he's not really a dramatic lead. Like, he can't really be the the romantic lead in like a Nicholas Sparks thing or something. Like it's hard to place him. So I think he like finds his little niches and sticks around as long as he can, like Party Down and then Parks and Rec and Severance to me
Yeah.
is the first thing I've seen where they're really getting the most out of Adam Scott. Like watching him the last few years on Big Little Lies has been frustrating because he's really good on that show, but he's just capable of so much more.
Yeah. Did you like him in this?
Yeah, I love him in everything. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah. He's not as bad as Cusack, I didn't think.
Oh, stop it. I just think a lot of the stuff they give him is really lame. Like the second he shows up on screen, like his character is just like a gormless halfwit basically. And they immediately put him on a fucking talk show where Craig Robinson fucks him up the ass.
Yeah.
And then he has to get like testicle injections that make his like balls explode on
Oh yeah,
people.
that sucked too.
Yeah, that's an awful sequence. So like I mean, he's put through the ringer in this movie. I kind of felt bad for him. On his podcast with Scott Aukerman sometimes makes fun of him for having been in Hot Tub Time too.
Oh,
And like I get it now. Like
Yeah.
it's terrible.
yeah, no.
Yeah. And so I mean his arc kind of sucks too. And like he fucks up his relationship with Gillian Jacobs, and on her wedding day she ends up fucking Rob Corddry. And so he goes back in time to kill Rob
I actually like that
Corddry.
part.
It's all right. And then they convince him to just like stay back in time and like start your relationship over with Gillian Jacobs. But that's a fucking pain in the ass, isn't it? You have to tell all the same fucking stories about yourself. You have to get vulnerable about the same shit. All the shit that you know is going to piss her off, you have to deal with pissing her off again. It would be a nightmare. I wouldn't want to redo a relationship.
Well, it's either that or try and get married with knowing that Lou was ruined your day.
I would do that.
You would?
I would
There's
go-
just no way though. That's not going
I
to
would go
succeed.
back to 2025, explain the situation to her that, you know, she fucked some time traveling sex bandit. And you know what? And she shouldn't be that mad about him anyway. He says that Chooser Doozer is her favorite show on TV, bro. So she should know what goes down there.
Yeah, if she's watching that, then she's like a psycho. If that's her
Yeah,
favorite show, then
totally.
we've heard what they do on that show. She's a crazy person. She can't be upset with him.
But I mean, it's basically implied that like everyone in 2025 is a psycho.
Yeah.
Like all the shows that Adam Scott mentions sound like torture experiments.
No, you're absolutely right. But I just think that if he stays with her, there's no way that they're gonna stay married.
Probably not, you know. But
Yeah, he
that's
has to go
true.
back.
That's true of most relationships, isn't it?
Yeah, but then if you just have that mentality, you're going nowhere.
Well, I do have that mentality, Logan, and I am going nowhere. Oh. All right, what do you give this one?
Are we done?
I guess. I
Um,
mean, do you have more shit to say?
Well, I didn't like the VR scene where he's like they're gonna have sex with each other, but I did like the moment where Craig Robinson's like, "Take that dick." He says, "Take that dick." To
And he just, it's just something I say.
yeah, that was funny too.
That is funny. All right, let me just look at the cast. Let's see if we missed anybody that deserves a mention. Oh, hey, Jason Jones as Gary Winkle. He was another one that got a little bump from them thinking The Daily Show was gonna have a lot of famous people. And you know he's pretty funny in this.
It's weird
I like
they didn't get like another guy though, like another there should have been like a funnier famous guy.
I agree. I mean, it's supposed to be Adam Scott. I think they were counting on Corddry and Craig Robinson now being famous enough that they're the leads, but I just kind of think they're not.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
It's a movie without a center. It sort of feels adrift.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I like that Jason Jones's character's name was Gary Winkle and he couldn't wink.
Yeah, that was okay. You like that joke?
Yeah, it was a good joke.
All right.
I'll I want to say that Jessica Williams was the host of The Daily Show in their version of 2025, and that is a better version of The Daily Show than the one that's on right now.
Okay, I've never seen it
All right.
in either way. Did you like the where Adam Scott has like a drug trip scene?
No, I never liked drug trip scenes.
I don't
in
either,
movies.
really.
And I didn't like. That was when he got the testicle thing, when they took off the patch too fast.
Mm-hmm.
That was lame. I hated that.
Yeah, it's all just pointless. It really serves no purpose at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the
so
best drug trip scene?
in any movie?
Yeah, I feel like they're all pretty bad, right?
Boy, I'd have to think about it. I mean, there's good ones.
Not Knocked Up has the Cirque du Soleil one, right? Is that Knocked Up or that's Knocked Up, right?
Yeah, that's knocked up.
That's okay. It's probably the worst part
thing
of the
with
movie.
the chair. I like the line about the chairs.
Oh, when they're in the hotel room?
Yeah,
Yeah. What's the line?
I don't remember.
That's a great scene though. But that's probably the worst part of the whole movie. Is when they go
Yeah,
to the Cirque du Soleil
drug.
place.
It's just not that funny. Like for when someone's tripping on drugs, like it's always most interesting for them.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it in a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. I give it 2 stars.
Yeah, I was at it too. You know what? It made me laugh a lot for
A lot.
something that I'm giving a 1.
Whoa.
But I'm gonna give it a 1. I just think it's a bad movie. Like to me, the bare minimum is, if you're making a mainstream comedy movie, is put a bunch of funny people in it. And this movie has a bunch of funny people in it, so I'm bound to laugh a few times. But like, as a movie, like from script to screen, it's shitty. It's a bad movie.
Yeah, you're right. But no, you're probably right. I can't give it a 1. I like that they go to the future and they have to prevent him from dying, but he does it to himself by having sex with Adam Scott. I think that's funny that he does it to himself when they're all that's their only purpose is to stop it from happening, but he just can't
Right.
help himself. I think that's funny. I think Clark Duke
And
is
then-
funny. We haven't really talked about him, but I think he's funny in this one. I don't know.
Yeah,
2 stars.
He's all right. And then at the end of the movie, that band OK Go does a rock and roll version of the "You're a Jerk and No One Likes You" song.
Okay, whatever.
Well, I was just wondering if maybe that director was on set. Remember we covered something with like the OK Go band's sister?
Yeah. What else was in this? Was there any other good music in this? I feel like the first one had way better music.
Well, yeah, because it had all the 80s music cues. They're in 2025 in this.
Who else did he rip off? He ripped off Alanis Morissette.
I Got a Feeling. Oh, yeah, right. And then but most of the movie he was just doing the Weber Strut, which was an
right.
original.
Yeah. But he ripped off a few people. Who else was it? Nirvana. He did Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
And something else, but I forget. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and Lisa Loeb.
Yeah, Lisa Loeb. What about the credits, the end credits, where they go to like all the different time periods?
Yeah, it was fun. There were a couple good laughs, but it's mostly just like the 4 of them ad-libbing.
Yeah, it's
Which
like
is funny.
The 22 Jump Street credits, where they're like,
Yeah, it is like that. It's
Yeah.
like a poor man's that.
exactly. And that franchise is way better.
I
Way
agree, we should
better.
cover
Not even
that.
close.
Yeah,
Not
those
even
Jump Streets
close.
are great.
They are great. Yeah. MVP. This is tough.
I'm gonna go with Scott.
No way. I'm gonna go with
No way. Ugh.
Clark Duke.
Sorry. I knew you'd go with Clark Duke. I think you think of yourself as a little Clark Duke.
No way.
You're like a handsomer Clark Duke. That's how you think of yourself.
All right, I'll take it.
You'll take, of course you will.
LVP. Boy, who do you got?
Bruce Buffer. No, I won't go with Bruce, although I hate him. Man.
Oh, they
I feel
mentioned the
like-
ring from Lord of the Rings in this movie.
Did they? How'd they do that?
They see the Cincinnati box and they're like, he's like, Clark Duke's like, oh, what's in it? And they say like, oh, it's the Ark of the Covenant. It's the ring from Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Um,
So there we go.
I'm gonna give my LVP. God damn it! I mean, this
Britta.
No, I mean she really adds nothing to the movie, but it's not her fault. I feel bad giving it to her. I'm gonna give it to Chevy.
Wow. It's a good
Yeah.
pick. It's a good pick. I actually forgot. Yeah, maybe I'll do that too because I didn't even think about him. But you're probably right.
Yeah, he sucks in this one.
I had Kumail, but I feel like he doesn't do anything too terrible. But he's just in it, so I feel like he should be the OVP. But I'll go with Chevy Chase too.
I sort of like the reveal that he actually invented time travel.